Interrupt Radio.
Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Hour, everybody. We're joined here with Xhris2Eazy. We're back in the boodio. Let's go, baby. How's it going, Chris?
Good. How about you?
Doing good, doing good.
How's your time been in Texas so far?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's been a few days. I haven't really got to explore the Austin area too much, but I like it.
Where are you from originally?
New York.
New York? Oh, okay.
Upstate New York, specifically.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier because I was telling him about how big like Howell and like Buta's growing like in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that he was like the only non-white kid, and I was like,
yeah,
for men in certain classes and shit, there was.
That's how it was back in the day too.
But it's changing though. Like now, like upstate, I see a lot more minority kids and people who are kind of like following the footsteps of what my parents did, moving out the city, going upstate, and. I mean, my sister and brother were probably like 15 or older when they moved upstate, so they kind of still have that city in them.
Yeah.
Me, I spent most of my time upstate.
Was it a small town?
Yeah. It's probably like 10,000 people.
And that's where you've been like your whole life, pretty much? Okay.
Well, actually, I moved houses, but it was always upstate. So it was from one town upstate to the other. So it's very similar though.
Oh damn. Okay. Go ahead, Zach.
So whenever you were growing up in upstate New York, though, would you say like there was like bits of like city culture like bleeding out upstate though?
Now, yes, but when I was growing up, not really.
So were you kind of like oblivious to like a lot of New York culture growing up?
Well,
or, like city culture, I should say.
No, because most of my family is still in the Bronx, so I grew up really going back and forth. Like I probably spent like a third of my childhood in the Bronx because my closest cousin was there, my grandfather's there, my grandma's there, all the cousins and shit. So I spent so much time there.
Are you one of the youngest in your family?
I'm the youngest. Yeah,
okay.
I have 2 older siblings.
So you said it was a brother and a sister?
Yeah.
As far as like music goes and like growing up, like did they play a role in like what you were into?
Big time, especially my brother. My sister too, though.
That's how it be.
Yeah, they put me on to a lot of shit. Also my mom and dad. Like
what were they putting you on to, like specifically that like stuck with you?
One like core memory I have is I remember I stumbled in the bathroom. My brother had like one of those HomePod things, like you put the iPod onto and it has like speakers.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I walked into the bathroom and I saw the cover art for Goblin by Tyler the Creator.
Oh shit.
And I thought the cover just caught my eye, so I went and checked that shit out and it just.
What were you listening to before that?
Just like normal shit, like probably like
radio.
Yeah, but I was pretty early on Lil Wayne for some reason. Like, Lil Wayne I was bumping since super young.
Yeah.
And then my parents put me on to like the old school New York hip hop shit, like Biggie, obviously, Wu-Tang Clan, Nas.
Yeah.
My mom, she grew up on the same block. Well, she went to the same school as Fat Joe and Big Pun.
Oh shit, that's
then
crazy.
She went to dance school, or it's called Kips Bay. It's like an extracurricular thing for kids in the city with J-Lo.
Oh wow,
She
that
was
is wild.
She was super tapped in with the culture and shit.
That is crazy as fuck. So how old were you when you found like Lil Wayne? Because I feel like everyone has that like, oh, I found Lil Wayne at this age. I found Tyler at this age. Yeah, it's a canon event for sure.
Speaking of Odd Future, I told them about when you went to Louisiana for a year. I was like, that was the Free Earl moment.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah,
seriously. Uniform.
No, seriously.
I remember all that Free Earl shit. I was like a super fan when that shit was going down. Like I was drawing OFWGKTA whatever on my arms and shit. I was drawing upside down crosses on my shit. But Lil Wayne I probably found when I was like 8 or 9, just like on the iPod.
That's real.
I remember I got one of those like, was the iPod Shuffle? It's like those small little.
Oh yeah, no
things.
screen.
Yeah, no screen.
Little clip in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I downloaded a bunch of shit. I remember my parents' credit card was on the iTunes. I just went crazy. I bought mad music and I was
some LimeWire too.
Yeah. And then they were like, "What's all these charges for like Lil Wayne and shit?" I was like, "I don't know. Maybe I got hacked or something."
Couldn't tell you. That's funny as fuck.
No, I feel like the little, especially for people who are like genuinely appreciate like rap, like I feel like the Lil Wayne like is not only canon but it's like crucial to like appreciation, because like I feel like he was the bridge from like the original like
Yes.
like to like he's the first internet rapper, but aside from that, he's been rapping since like the 90s. But I feel like he was one of the first rappers that genuinely like flooded not only the streets but the internet.
Yes, 100%.
He was like the underdog, like low key, like he like just like showed like how much he's worth, and like
exactly.
it's fucking crazy.
He's like Chief Keef. He was a child prodigy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Exactly. He survived like 2 different generations too, because when he was coming up, it was kind of like like you said, 90s, 2000s hip hop shit, and then when he got older, he transitioned to like the more auto-tune, like rock star.
He literally made a rock album. Like,
yeah. He was super
that shit's
ahead of
nuts.
his time. I still like Lil Wayne. I don't really listen to his new shit, but you know,
he performed at the newest, like the Saturday Night Live like 50-year anniversary. That shit was like low key goofy, but like I love him so much that he deserved every second.
Yeah, no, he definitely deserves that.
He's honestly a style icon too. Him and Jim Jones have the best 2000s swag.
Yeah,
Jim Jones was the first rapper rocking chrome. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was super early on that shit. Like that, all that Harlem fashion shit was like super pivotal. My grandma was born and raised in Harlem, so I never really spent too much time there growing up. But I appreciate the impact that shit had on like New York culture and stuff.
So talking about impact and talking about music and stuff like that. I wanted to know like what made you like start making music, and like talk about like the very beginning, like who made you get into it?
Mad young, honestly.
I was making music really young. But
Oh, really?
I remember writing raps probably when I was like 8 or 9. I remember listening to like that song "Forever" by Lil Wayne. It was like for like the LeBron James movie.
That was a goat cipher.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It had like Lil Wayne, Eminem, 50 Cent, I think.
No,
Drake.
Sorry,
Drake.
I'm gonna be a nerdy. It's Kanye, Drake,
Kanye. Yeah, it was Kanye.
Eminem, and Wayne.
Yeah, that's a legendary song for real. So that's what made you want to start writing shit?
That's what made me start writing.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually making music was through my cousin. He was, like I said, I was always spending time in the Bronx, and he lived with my grandfather, and he was like doing this rap shit. I remember like people in my family would always like make fun of him and be like, yo, like your cousin's trying to be a rapper, man. Like I found him on Facebook, and like I heard his shit, and I was like, thought it was mad crazy. So I started hanging out with him more, and he basically taught me like the ins and outs of like writing music, what it takes to be a rapper, and I kind of like modeled that shit after him.
What year was that?
Probably like 2013, I'd say.
Damn, you've been doing it for a minute.
Well, I was born in 2002, so no. Because I started writing when I was 8, then I really got into like making music when I was like 12 or 13. So maybe it was like 2014, 2015.
Damn, that's mad young.
Whenever you started actually like recording though, was there like a specific like, I don't want to say like rapper like per se, but was there like a specific like style that you were like obsessed with, like trying to like get it like down, or were you just trying to like see what stuck?
Right, like my cousin was putting me onto a whole bunch of the new shit. Then on my own, I found like the internet shit. I found like Young Lean, and I remember like I tried to download Autotune, the preset.
Yeah,
I could never download it.
Bro, it's such a bitch. It was such a bitch back then.
Yeah, I was trying to like back then you had to have like a USB drive, and like my computer didn't take that or whatever, so I couldn't get it. But I remember looking up like Young Lean type beats, Young Lean like presets and shit, and I was just super into that shit.
Oh yeah, that shit. That's another canon event right there. Especially like finding the SoundCloud era,
Definitely.
Bro. That shit like changed my life for sure.
You go down 2 paths. I feel like it's either Young Lean or Bones at first, and then like it's like
it branches off.
Yeah, and it branches off.
Shit. Yeah,
but I feel like those are like the 2 start honestly. Like, or if you're like older, like me or Thor, SGP.
Yeah, we've talked about it like numerous times on this podcast, but like whenever you're like first getting into the SoundCloud era, like who else were you like listening to besides like Young Lean? Like where did you branch off to?
That's a good question. There's so many artists. Let me try and think of like who particularly.
It's like ever growing too. Like there's you find a new artist like every fucking day on that
I
thing.
think that the rabbit hole kind of went from like Young Lean shit, like Drain shit. Like I found Blade at the time. He didn't really click with me when I was younger. Then like eventually, like over the years, it was SGP. I got really into Space Ghost Perp, and then from there, then I really got into like the real underground, like deep underground shit.
Space Ghost Perp's like his discography is so insane.
Yeah.
Like his rare song. Sorry, I'm gonna I love Space Ghost
Me
Perp.
too.
Yeah,
too.
I can go on a Space Ghost Perp rant, but like it sucks that he's like the person that he is because his like discography is so amazing.
Exactly. Like he's like obviously like a fucking crazy, like probably really shitty person, but like doesn't take away from the music he made and the impact.
Yeah.
He made.
And I'm honestly glad he's getting his flowers through Cardi though.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like it was like such a like valid like cosign too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like on some like swag jacking like.
It was a little overdue.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, at least it happened.
Because Cardi literally said he was a Radio Clan fan before he was an ASAP fan.
He has like tweets and shit.
Yeah,
It was, like,
exactly.
super
He's like
young.
talking about fuck ASAP.
Yeah, yeah.
Sign to
as
ASAP.
See, ASAP too, like even upstate, like kids were bumping ASAP and shit. For some reason, I never really got into ASAP Rocky. I don't know why.
I think it was just like I feel like the clothes factor
Yes.
really made me fuck with him.
Yes.
Because like that was when I was first like starting to like get my own sense of like what I wanted to wear on my
Some
music.
HBA.
Him, Tyler and Pharrell, like when I was first like really getting into clothes. I feel like ASAP Rocky like made and killed a lot of brands, honestly.
Yeah. Remember that Guess collab he had? Like people in my school were wearing that shit like
The,
crazy.
the striped shirt.
Yeah, it was like the Guess with like 2 money signs on it.
Yeah, I still have myself.
Yeah.
That's fire.
That shit was like platinum and fucking.
No, it with
Not
the
for real.
CDG Converse.
Yeah, I had those too, dude. Yeah.
Oh.
Man, I never had a pair of those. I always wanted them too, and now that I have money,
Bro,
I-
they sell
I
them at
mean,
Costco.
Yeah, I can't.
They got burnt out so fast.
I can't even like buy them now as like a grail because they're not even a grail anymore.
No, yeah,
so
dude.
easily obtainable.
They got so burnt out and so like fucking.
So you were in high school making music,
Yeah, I was in middle school making.
middle school. So did people like start to like catch wind that you were doing that, or like how did that go for you?
Probably like in middle school, people were starting to notice like I had a whole bunch of different names. I was also really inspired by like horror movies and shit. I think that's why I like Tyler the Creator so much because like in his music videos, like that thing's called VCR.
Yeah.
It's like a really like fucked up video. He's like in the basement like just doing fuck shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, that was when I realized that like the horror movie shit or just movies in general, music like they could connect.
Does that like play a part in your craft a lot?
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
To this day.
I see it for
Yeah,
sure.
to this day.
And like you name dropping David Lynch earlier, I was like, okay, so like you actually give a fuck.
Culture.
No, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was like,
Because I barely know who the fuck he is. Like,
it goes like music and then movies is right there. Like
okay.
specifically horror, but movies and like one of my first rap names. I don't want to say it. Just I don't want people to find it because it was ass. It was named after like a Shining character.
Oh really? That's sick as
I
fuck.
really like Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. He's a legend too.
So
Oh, man, that's
I
crazy.
gotta ask, do you think he worked with the government on the moon landing?
I think it's very possible.
I
Facts.
wholeheartedly believe that we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence, especially like
I believe that too.
the people like mapped like the studios out and shit and
And
showed like it just.
I think we're just trying to beat Russia and win
Yeah,
the space race. Like, I just don't. I genuinely have had this conversation with people, and I can't see how they can believe that science just wasn't simply there at that
Yeah.
point.
I also had a huge phase of being obsessed with like the Soviet Union. I was obsessed with it. I don't know why. I just got so into that shit.
It's crazy because like there's no one that could tell anyone like back then like, oh, that shit's fake, bro. Like
No, yeah, exactly.
there's no way like to prove that at all.
No, the people who are like were there for that, they're never gonna believe it was fake. You know.
Yeah, that shit's nuts. So making music in middle school, people started to catch wind. What are some other names that you can name that you were going by before Xhris2Eazy?
Oh my God, there were so many. Let me think. Of my. I think at one point I went by my government name. I don't know why I did that.
That is.
Oh,
So stupid.
That's crazy.
Then I'm trying to think of what my first rap name was.
You're making like R&B or some shit. I could see that, but
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. Posh Boy Swag was a name I had that was super early on.
That's pretty sick.
Was that like Ruben Slick inspired?
Yes.
Okay. So we're starting to get into like the
little deeper.
the bass side of the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was like Posh Gang inspired and shit. I'm trying to think of more. One of them was very.
I gotta
local.
ask, do you have Ruben Slick's new social media? Have you been seeing the shit that he posts?
Not as new.
I'm so worried about him, dog.
Yeah, I mean that dude has been off the rails for like quite a
For
long
years,
time.
bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's deeper in the rabbit hole.
The last time I saw him on Instagram, he was like posting pictures of his shit. There was like a piece of poop in the toilet.
Yeah. He always be on live in the fucking car.
Yeah, he's got arrested like fucking 35 times. Like he's just
That's the goat though.
yeah, no, he really influenced me. Like I didn't even really realize how much he influenced me. And like a few years passed by, then like I kind of went back into his shit. I was like, oh, like I kind of get it more now.
Yeah. I was super into like Mike DC and
no, me too. I have a song with Mike DC on the way.
Oh, really?
No shit.
That's crazy.
That's fucking
I talk to
crazy.
him all the time.
That's fucking wild. I used to be a huge fan of Mike DC.
Yeah, no, me too.
Dude, we would be bumping him all the fucking time.
That's rare.
There was like clips of him in the club freestyling with Slick. I love that shit.
Dude.
There's a video of them in the back of the car. They're like singing some like swagger on my ass, swagger on my dick.
That shit's
That
tight
shit
as
is so legendary.
That's fire. So yeah, making music throughout school and stuff like that. So when did you start like gaining like kind of like a public figure, like notoriety on like SoundCloud, Instagram, all that?
Probably in like 10th or 11th grade. It started off with my homies. Like I'm still friends with them to this day. Like we just went to a Mets game, but
Fire.
like I always stay loyal to them because they were like the first people to really support this music shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I started, people would make fun of it and shit or whatever. But there was people made fun of it, but I will say there was a select group of people that did get it even back then. Like the music wasn't there, but a lot of people were like, okay, I see the vision.
Yeah, that's cool. You gotta keep those people around you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. Cause like, maybe I exaggerated. Cause there was still influence from like the city and shit. Like there were a few kids who were like from the city who moved there. Like they were a little older. Like there was a group of seniors in my high school, and they were all like, I think some of them were from Harlem, and they were like to me they were like the only cool kids in the school.
Yeah.
So like I kind of like modeled it after them at first.
Mm-hmm.
That's real, honestly, because like whenever I was growing up, like my like grade, like I had like my like little circle be like whenever they graduated and they were making music, and then our little circle was also like producing and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I totally see that, especially like I feel like we both got lucky because like both of our schools were kind of like accepting of it. I feel like not everyone sees
definitely.
that.
There was a couple people who were like hating on it, but the grand majority of people were like, "Oh, that's cool as fuck."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
But it was also before it was oversaturated too. Like I feel like
Yeah.
now, like
Yeah, now
it's a
like,
different.
so obvious to people. to do
But
that.
Yeah.
but back then, surprisingly,
It's kind of like hard to stand out like these days, especially with how many people like getting FL Studios is so fucking easy.
I know. Back then, it was like trying to fucking
it was a whole process.
crack the Da Vinci Code.
I felt like Edward Snowden, bro. Like trying to get FL.
Dude, it was so. I had like growing up, we had the computer we had was like those Mac desktops.
Yeah.
That are just like the screen, and so all like the plugins and shit were like on PC.
Yeah.
So I could never get like the.
And cracking them like on Mac
It's
is so
impossible.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Crypto, honestly, my friend Young Crypto, he fucking
Oh yeah, shout out Young Crypto.
yeah, y'all met in Houston. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's sick as fuck.
He is like the only person I know that has like 1,000,001 fucking plugins and shit for
Yeah.
FL on Mac somehow.
He's the plug.
Like that.
It's crazy.
If you find really deep and like risk like fucking up your computer, you can do it.
Yeah, he's just willing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I relate too because I had a gateway computer, them cheap ass like
I
Walmart
had
one.
one of those too growing up.
And like it ran FL perfectly for some reason, but like I had a snowball mic and shit. Like everyone had their snowball mic era and shit like that.
That's how I started. But because of that, like, because it was the Mac, the FL was just not working.
Yeah.
So it moved to GarageBand.
Mm-hmm.
Then I figured out that there was Logic Pro X, which is like
Oh
the
my
advanced
God,
version
yeah.
of GarageBand. So I figured out a crack for that.
Is that what you use now?
I switched to FL Studio like a year or two ago.
Too easy, isn't
Oh,
it?
recently.
Yeah.
It's FL Studio is so much more like streamlined.
It's user friendly.
It's
Yeah.
so much more user friendly. Like
For real.
Those are pretty.
what takes like 5 clicks on Logic, you could do in 1 on FL. So I was like, this is way more efficient.
No, that's real.
Hell yeah. So, what is the first song that you made that people like were like, oh shit, this is like sick as fuck? Like your first like song that like kind of like put you into like the scene, you know?
It was a song called Orchids, and it was produced by like this kid in my high school. He was DJing. His name was DJ Psycho. I think he still like shows me love and shit. But he was making like just like SoundCloud DJ mixes. So then like my closest homie was really the one I'm still friends with to this day. He was cool with him. So then I was like, yo, like the first person I went to when I wanted to like actually make music was my homie Antonio. And like I said, I just went to the Mets game with him. We're still super, super close.
Hell yeah.
So through Antonio, I was like, I want to start doing this music shit. Can you help like find me a beat? Can you help me like take the pictures for the cover art? and he was down with all of that. He helped me out with all that shit.
Hell yeah. That's fire as fuck.
So whenever you were growing up, did you want to? So I always feel, and some people don't feel the same, but I always feel like it's not only crucial, but canon that you spend some time in your local scene. But there were like local people that you really wanted to lock in with, or did you go straight to the internet?
There were some local people. Like there was this kid. He was I think he was 2 years older than me. His name was One Enhancement, and he was one of the first people who kind of like took me to a studio. Like this was even upstate. Like we found this kid's stepdad was making his own music, and he was like, yeah, you come to the crib to make music. So that kid, One Enhancement, brought me along, and that was when like I made like my first song in the studio.
Damn.
So, like around when, like at what point would you say like that was starting to become like a thing, like outside, like recording outside of your room?
This was probably like 2016.
Okay, so it was pretty early on.
That's crazy.
Okay, cool.
Back when like going to like a studio was like revolutionary.
Yeah,
Real
it was a
seeing all the booths and shit. That's
we were just
fucking
in
crazy.
some dude's house, but I was like so fucking nervous. I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like, I was rapping, and then the kid's stepdad told me, he's like, yo, he's like, you gotta like rap this shit. You can't be speaking it. Like, I was like, damn.
Was he like mixing and shit for you and everything?
Yeah, he was mixing all that.
When did you start to like branch out to your own mixing? Because like, you have a unique mix as well.
Yeah.
And like you have like what do you call that? Like DJs like kind of hosting it on the songs. Like when did that start to come to be?
Right around that time, I was recording at like the studio. I realized I was like, I kind of want to record myself. And I remember just like talking with my cousin who got me into music. He was like, it's way better. You know, he was like, he would say how he always wishes he had a studio in his house. He's like, so that way I could just like have an idea, I could record it. And then I remember that kid Antonio was like, yo, he was like, Lil Yachty said he recorded one night in his basement. He's like, so you could definitely do that shit.
Yeah.
Then I was like, the light bulb went off. I was like, oh, I could just do this myself.
Yeah.
So I got Snowball, or no, I think I had a Snowball, and then I bought AT 2020. And then my barber, who's out in the Bronx, he cut my pops before I was born, and he used to run a studio in the Bronx. And then like I told him I was doing the music, so he like dug up in his closet and he found like mad like acoustic panels, like soundboard things, and he gave me like a shit ton of those. So like me and Antonio, we just locked in, like we emptied out my closet, fucking spray painted all our shit all over it, put up the acoustics, and turned it into like a little recording booth.
That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah, that's sick as fuck. That light bulb in your head, like that made you like want to lock in and start like making shit constantly.
Around the time that you started like actually taking it like super seriously, who was inspiring you as far as like songs that you would like actually like give a fuck about and release? Who was inspiring like that style at the time, like when you started taking it super seriously and locking in?
When I was first starting to really make the music, it was at that point it was probably like Lil Yachty, Playboy Cardi, early like the Cash Cardi shit. X was super big at the time. Ski Mask too. Who else though? Those are probably like the main ones during that time.
Yeah, I feel like that's another like canon event. It's crazy. Yeah,
so
that's fire.
When you first started like actually like locking and like put like upping your output, did you want to start reaching out to other people like outside of like the initial friend group, or did it take a while for you to start easing into like the online like networking and like actually,
I was doing both at the same time. And I remember like I found Icy Twat in probably 2015, 2016, and then I went.
Shout out Divine Council.
Yeah, Divine Council. They were super lit. Silk Money and shit. You got a track train, Icy Twat. I remember I used PayPal, but it was like hooked up to my mom's shit. And then she saw like it came up as like, cause like all his old aesthetics were like porn shit.
Yeah.
So like the name was like some crazy like freaked out shit. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you buying my PayPal?" I was like, "They're Beats." Then
trust me, they're Beats.
My mom, she tried to refund it. Icy Twat got really mad at me.
Oh no.
She was me like, "Yo, like what the fuck is wrong with you, bro?" Like trying to scam me. I was like 14. I was like, all right, bro.
It's not what it looks like, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying to scam you.
That's funny as fuck.
Like, I literally don't know what I'm doing. If I wanted to scam you, I wouldn't know how to do it, you know?
on some I'm just gonna expose myself here for a second. When Track Train started coming out, the screen recording on your iPhone had just came out. So
Yeah, you can screen record.
so I would screen record the beats, and it would say purchase your tracks today.
Yeah.
But like I had to hear myself on it before I bought it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, 100%.
So that's what I would do. I cracked the code, bro. That's funny as fuck. So I want to talk about SEB if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want to talk about like when did you start like linking up with all them, and like how did all that come to be?
So I was, like I said, I used to go to a bunch of Yankee games. My grandma, she, like, in Puerto Rico, she was a huge Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
So she came to New York to come to this Yankee game. I went with her. My parents were posted up at the Yankee game, and I just dropped the song Prod High C. It's still up. It's called Porn Star. And I was probably like 17 at this point, so I was a little older. And I dropped that song, Porn Star. Then in my DMs, I saw this kid, Acid Soldier, DMing me. And I was like, who the fuck is this? And then he was like, yo, he's like, I'm gonna send you, he's like, I fuck with your music. I'm gonna send you an open. At the time, I was like, eh. But I was at the Yankee game, like watching the game and like texting him. And he sent me an open. And he had a bar where he was like, I think it was Bass Boy Soldier, I'm gonna shoot you if you racist. I was like, oh, that's hard. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, we can work.
Oh yeah, that's fire as fuck. Yeah, like I like Acid Soldier like has like a way of like fucking like rhyming anything with anything and just like saying whatever the fuck comes to mind.
His style.
Yeah, and like I feel like that y'all complimented each other like very well with that. So it started to evolve like after he started messaging you, like the group and all that.
He messaged me, and I got his number through SoundCloud. We started tapping in. Then eventually he's like, yo, he's like, we're gonna FaceTime. And he had an Android at the time. Like we would go on Instagram DM or whatever, and we'd FaceTime through there.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yo, he was like, there's this kid CP. He lives in New York. He's a super fire producer. And he was like, you gotta tap in with him. So I think like I started DMing CP too. He sent me beats for us to get on. And then like we started a group chat, and then it just spiraled. And then when we met, me and Acid, he was like, you know, I want to start a collective. And I was like, yeah, me too. Like I had a whole bunch of collectives, like with the Inner Life homies, Faded Out.
Yeah.
I had like a whole bunch of little collectives. So he was like, we should start a collective. And I was like, bet. So we had the idea, and then I was in my basement, and we couldn't think of a name. Then I just like, into my head, just like Evilplug popped up. And then I was like, we could call ourselves Evilplug / So Evil Boys. And he was like, oh, I fuck with that.
That's crazy.
We just stuck with that.
That's fire.
It's crazy. I don't know if this plays any like part, but it gives me like Gucci Mane Space Ghost Perp vibes.
Yeah, no, I was really into Space Ghost Perp at that time. Like, I found RCB, like High C and Diamonds on My Dick, through Space Ghost Perp. Like Trip Jones too. Like, I was really listening to like Space Ghost Perp had some shit with Trip Jones. I was like obsessed with that shit. Like it was called like Terror Gang Remix or something.
Yeah.
And and Grim Doza too.
Damn.
I really fuck with Grim Doza.
Those are crazy name drops
Yeah.
I haven't heard in so long. That is fucking wild.
Little pee break.
Yeah, little pee break.
Little pee break.
Drinking all this fucking water.
We're back. I wanted to ask about the process of making your first mixtape with Phony Wallace. Shout Phony.
Big time.
yeah.
Evilplug. I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about the process behind that.
So, among that time, like, right around that time, me and Acid were starting to get close, and CP, like, in my email, I just kept getting beats from Phony Wallace, and then, like, I heard them, and I was like, holy shit. So I followed him, and, like, I really had, like, any followers or listeners, and he just was consistently sending me beats that I actually liked. So I was like, yo, let's just fucking do a tape. And he was the first producer, obviously besides CP, to like really like lock in with me and show me love and try and like help curate my sound.
So what was that the reason that like you were holding off on dropping like a full like body of work, like a mixtape, because you couldn't find that? Like,
Yes, dude, finding beats back then was like, so I was making beats for myself, and like my homie Antonio, all right, there's a little bit of other lore. This kid named Theo in my high school, I'm still close with him. He was a year younger than me. Like, I knew him for years, and we were never really that close. And then, like, when he realized that me and Antonio were doing the music shit, he kind of like started like, I was in the bathroom one day. He's like, yo, I like your hair.
In the bathroom is insane
I
though.
had really crazy. I used to have blonde. I dyed my hair blonde. I was kind of into the fashion shit. I had like these crazy blonde curls. And he was like, he was mixed like me. So he was like, he had like curly hair like me. So he was like, he's like, yo, I fuck with your hair, bro. I was like, thanks. And then like I got his Instagram, and that sounds kind of crazy. And then I realized like I was looking at his shit, and he had like all these beats on his page. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you make beats? He was like, yeah. And so I was like, yo, you gotta be my boy Antonio. So I plugged them in together, and then I was like, yo, can you guys start like making me beats and shit? And they were like super down for it. The group was called Platinum Psycho. It was in my bedroom. I invited them both over, and that was like one of the first times I ever like bought a cart. I remember this kid pulled up down the street, and like it was like 2 a.m. We all like walked there. I don't know why. Like we were walking there, and we were just like singing a song, walking there like on some goofy shit.
Like then we Stand By Me.
On some Stand By Me shit.
We're like walking, singing a song.
They want to see a dead body.
We were so hyped to get high, and then we got the cart, and then like that was one of the best experiences in my life. Like I remember just getting so high, and he was doing this thing like he'd hit the cart, he'd like pretend to move really slow. Like I almost like peed my pants.
That's tight as fuck.
He was just like stuck. He was like, I can't move. So funny. And that night, like we created the Platinum Psycho shit. It was like inspired from the American Psycho movie. And we created that, and then that was like the first experience with like having beats made for me. And he was like super into like Machine Girl and Waist Deep Click. Like he was really into that shit.
Fire.
So his like, and he got me into that shit too. I was also into like, I had a really big phase with Death Grips around that time.
That's another canon event that I unfortunately was not participating in, but you love Death Grips. I couldn't.
So Zach Hill, he used to be in a band called Hella.
Yeah, Hella.
And I was really into Hella.
He dropped, there's like an album, it's like Fire on the cover from Hella. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty good.
His Tumblr blog era was also really fucking sick. He put me onto a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
like,
Zach Hill to this day, I still fuck with him heavy. Like, I know they're doing the group again, but Death Grips was like kind of like, this was like a little bit after like the SoundCloud shit, because I was kind of just like diving even deeper. And I was like really just finding really obscure shit online, and like I had an obsessive phase with Death Grips. Then like so I was telling Theo like, yo, like I love these guys, Death Grips, and he was like, Machine Girl's like kind of like similar universe. So he showed me Machine Girl. So like we really locked in on that sound, and yeah, with the Platinum Psycho shit, it was just like some crazy like industrial production, all on GarageBand.
That's sick as fuck.
I still have that shit on my phone, and it's still good too. I'm not gonna lie, like that.
You never dropped it?
No, we did.
Oh, you did drop it?
Yeah,
Okay.
We're making like cover arts for it.
So do you feel like it aged better than Evilplug?
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, maybe that shit was really ahead of his time.
You gotta remaster that, like even just for shits and giggles.
That's sick.
I just reconnected with him like for a few years. Like we just didn't talk. He was doing his own thing, and like probably like a month or two ago, he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, like let's get back locked in and shit." And I was like, "Dude, of course." Like I've been waiting to get locked in again. So like a month or two ago, like. Then I went on my computer, that same old Mac desktop, and I found all the files for that shit.
Whoa.
And I was like, yo, this is like...
That's rare, too, because a lot of people don't get that shit back.
Yeah, no, like, I had the computer just sitting in, like, a closet, all dusty, and I was like, this shit probably still works. So I was like, let me just hook it up. So, like, it's in my room now. Like, I used it to watch, like, YouTube videos and shit.
Yeah.
But...
I gotta ask, is that your first tattoo?
This one is my first tattoo. Elaine. It's actually her birthday today.
How fresh is the one that you just got?
This one? This is, like... like 4 days old.
Bro, you're gonna get that whole infected.
No, he said that his style is like
Yeah, but you're directly touching the table and then
No. He told me, he was like, bro, he's like, you don't gotta do shit. I thought he was gonna like wrap it and give me like the fucking gauze and shit.
It looks good.
No, yeah, he was like, I asked him, I was like, do I need to like
Quit tattoo watching, bro.
Bro, I guess it's just my skin. For the first week, I have to be mad careful.
With this one, that's why I was surprised. But he told me, he was like, dude, he's like, I'm not gonna lie. He's like, you don't have to like. Right after I got it, I put on my hoodie. He didn't put wrap on it. He was like, bro, I'm telling you, it's gonna be fine. He was like, you don't even really have to go crazy with the Aquaphor. I still did because I'm like super like on top of that shit.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I also got the Houston Astros tattoo.
Based
Yeah.
as hell.
But this tattoo, the Elaine tattoo, is when my grandma passed away, and that was in like 2019. That was also like a super transformative period because
Same.
yeah, my parents were always working and shit, and she lived with us. So, like my parents, they were never really around when I was a kid. Honestly, like
Yeah.
love them to death, but they just weren't really there.
Mhm.
So my grandma was the one who was like really raising me and shit. So when she passed away, that was like a super transformative time.
Yeah. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
You said it was her birthday too. Shout out Elaine.
Hey. Well,
Elaine.
just still, yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, I feel like us too. Like our I feel like our grandma's definitely like formatted like our life for us. I feel like that.
Big time,
Oh,
big
yeah.
time. Even with the music shit too. Like she would put me on to just like old school like classic shit she grew up listening to. So like she was a super big influence. But just to bounce back real quick, like that night that we bought the cart and got like super fried for the first
Never
night.
get enough topic.
Yeah. Got emotional real quick.
That night is like when we made all of those like super legendary beats. Like just in that night, like I don't know like what the fucking frequency in the air was or some shit.
Yeah.
But, like we were just like in like a different mode. Like those beats, like I said today, they're still really good. And like I probably will remaster it someday. And like from there, that was when I really was like really finding my own style. But then as that shit kind of fizzled off because like he was a year younger than me. He was doing school. He was really smart too. He was like that kid's like a fucking super genius. Like,
Yeah.
he he did a bunch of like acid and shit when he was young. So he was just like super like ahead of his like time and
Yeah.
shit. He was putting us on to. He was just like it blew my mind.
Yeah.
But it kind of fizzled out just because like we're on different shit. And then it bounced to the Evilplug shit like probably like a year or two later.
It's crazy because like you can't really like, get those like moments back. Like you have to like like there's like a special like feeling like when you're locked in with some like another person in the studio like that.
New too, like making shit that like
It's exciting.
it was like that was some of like the most formative music making experiences ever. Like,
Yeah.
To this day, I still look back on the pictures and the music and shit. It was fucking crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. I need to hear that shit.
Yeah, I'll show you after.
I bet. I wanted to sidetrack as fuck, but I wanted to talk about like horror movies because like my girl like she's like so obsessed with like movies like especially horror too. Like, what's your like top 3 or top 5?
Right off rip, The Shining.
Let's go top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Okay. The Shining. Right off rip. Let me just look at my letterbox just to have a little guide.
Oh, you got a letterbox?
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you after.
Yeah, I'll add you on it. I've just seen so many movies; it's hard to remember them. There's this one called The Wailing. I think it's Korean. That movie is really good. I just looked at my list because, like I said, there's so much fucking shit I've seen.
Follow Xhris2Eazy on Letterboxd, everybody.
Yeah, follow that shit. Okay, so top 5 is gonna be Midsummer,
Hell yeah.
The Shining.
I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't seen Midsummer.
Midsummer's
Really
fucking
good.
great.
Really
It's
good.
fucking good.
I liked Hereditary a lot.
Yes, I just saw that like 2 months ago.
Dude, that movie's fucking.
It came out like
ridiculous.
5 years ago.
Yeah, shit is insane. I still love A24 shit.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Mid 80s for the first time.
I've never
90s?
seen that one.
It's good. I haven't seen it since 2018 since it first came out.
It's a show?
No, it's a movie that A24 did with Jonah Hill.
Oh,
But-
mid 90s.
Or mid 90s.
Yeah,
Mid-
yeah.
mid-80s.
No, I still know what you're talking about. I forgot about that shit.
Sorry, I'm high. But I rewatched it for the first time since 2018. It actually aged pretty decent. Like I thought it was gonna age like shit.
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. A24 is mad solid.
Hell yeah. That's like some of the best horror movies come from them.
Talk to
The
me.
Lighthouse, Talk to Me is very good. The Lighthouse in my top 5 and then Eraserhead.
Oh wow, David Lynch. Yeah,
I
that's
just
sick.
watched the A24 movie like 3 weeks ago. I forgot what the name.
Opus.
Of it is. Opus.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one yet.
It's pretty good, honestly.
Okay, so I want to talk about this real quick because back to the music in a second, guys. All right, this is movie head talk real quick. So Opus is pretty much like 4 movies into one. It's like Get Out, Blink Twice.
Oh, you know what? I think I watched it for like the first hour and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, it's like it went like straight to like streaming too. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a super poppin', but
Yeah.
like theaters. I saw it in theaters and it was good.
I saw it random as fuck because I was at the mall and I had like 3 or 4 hours to kill.
Like okay,
Yeah, I was like, I guess.
I'll give Opus a shot. No, yeah,
That's not Neon? That's A24. That's Neon or A24?
It's A24.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is A24. Yeah, it's like 4 A24 movies put into one movie. It's a good movie, but if you've seen all the other ones, then like you're like, oh, this is just like this, yeah. But you haven't seen the other ones to compare.
I'm not super in the A24. I think a lot of the movies are good, but I think some of them are overrated.
No, yeah.
But I think they are a good company. That movie was pretty good. I like the concept of it. I feel like there's some scenes that like kind of threw me off, like took me out. Like I would get into it and like something would irk me.
Yeah.
And it would take me out.
That's how I feel about Talk to Me. Like it's a good horror, but
You need to watch that shit.
there's certain things that just kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, it's a really great concept, but then
exactly.
exactly what you were saying. Like some of the scenes are kind of like just like off or like weird, but like they're like body
I don't
horror.
understand it. I feel like it's a common thing with A24. Like they just have like some out of place moments that you're like, wait, what?
No, yeah. I love body horror. That's like my favorite shit.
That one scene whenever like the kid like he's like
he
bashing his fucking head. Oh my god, that like
scene is ridiculous.
That made me like so sick, bro. Oh my god, bro.
So squeamish.
I saw it in theaters too, and I was like, bro, what the fuck?
That shit was so
like I felt like a kid. I was like this. Like I was like.
I saw the Minecraft movie in 4D.
Oh my god,
bro!
Yeah.
I had never been to a 4D movie before.
Have you seen it?
Nah,
bro.
It's actually surprising.
It's worth watching.
It's surprisingly
in 4D
good.
only.
It's surprisingly really good, but in 4D was a changing experience because it's scent, sight. They like mist you and shit,
like
and the
water
seas
and shit.
move.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been to one of those before. And that shit was crazy. Like there was moments where like just random shit would start smelling up the room. It'd be like flowers.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if you saw like regular like a regular like standard movie, like
it was still like pretty good, but the 4D experience like kept me super immersed in the movie the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, cause like I'm super ADD, so like if it wasn't good, like I was gonna be on my phone.
Like getting all the sensory.
But I was it was like $20 for the ticket, but it was so worth it.
Recently, like movies I really liked was The Substance.
Fuck yeah.
It wasn't A24, but that movie, that's like that could be in my top 5, honestly.
Yeah,
movie
it's my top 5.
What's it about?
It's about like this Hollywood actress. She's like kind of like at the end of her career.
She's 50.
Yeah, they're looking to like replace her. She's like a Hollywood pretty girl, like the sex appeal. She's doing like these like sexy like workouts and shit.
Yeah.
She's getting old. They're trying to phase her out. So she finds like this this drug that it's like some adrenochrome shit. It like keeps you young, but the thing is you have to like be consistent with the dosage, and like it puts you into like 2 different bodies, like a younger version and an older version. And then she just starts to like blur the lines with that shit, and it just gets.
She abuses it, and so like if you like. If the younger body stays in the
recently came out, right?
Yeah, if
we're
it's
debating between seeing that and Opus.
Like
We should have went
last
to
year.
go see that.
nah, you should have seen The Substance, bro. That shit's insane.
That was really
that
good.
shit made me uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah,
that's crazy as hell.
Body horror in that movie is like a whole new level.
Yeah, it's crazy because like now that we're talking, like I could see the horror movies like influence your music a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy as fuck. We were talking about it off camera, but I wanted another sidetrack as well. You said like the food where you're at in like the Austin area, it was like is like horrible.
Dude, that shit was
let's go to Pluckers after this. You wanted wings?
I'm down for that.
Yeah, Pluckers is
Yes,
good.
Pluckers
Pluckers
is
is good.
We're going on a journey because downtown.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
fine.
I don't care.
That shit is lit. I love Pluckers.
You said you had some mid ass barbecue around here.
Yeah, it was. I think it was called Salt Lick.
Oh really? You didn't like Salt Lick?
Fucking trash. Because like we're staying outside of Austin for the wedding, so like when you walk in, they have like these like smoke burning to like get the aromas and shit. You get all excited. I just feel like it was like a tourist trap. Like
No, for sure.
they brought out the food and it was like we were sharing it and it was just like one rib. I was like, how are we gonna fucking share this? I'm not gonna fight over a rib. Like I'm not gonna do that.
That's tight.
They barely gave me any food. I was hungry as fuck. Didn't give me a lot of food. I was like, fuck this place.
That's funny as fuck because like back in the day, that was like the staple. That was like what everyone.
It has good reviews. And
yeah, it's like either there or you have to go all the way to Lockhart, which I recommended. Like that Lockhart barbecue
That's
is
what I told
Oh
untouched.
yeah, you were talking about that earlier.
Untouched, bro. It's crazy. Okay, back to the music, guys. All right, back to the music. So is there any projects that you're working on currently that you're hyped about that you want to share?
Yeah. Me and my homie Glow Zula, we're working on a little EP. He's like recently, he's been like one of my favorite producers. He really gets like that like dark plug sound that I'm looking for. Like nobody else like gets it how I like it like him. So I'm gonna do an EP with him, and then I haven't done an album in a while, so I'm gonna do an album. I think I'm gonna call it like H Star. That's where I got the tattoo.
That's hard. Hell
It's
yeah.
gonna be called like H Star Rock or some shit.
That's fire as fuck.
It's gonna be like some like swamp music is like my favorite project I've dropped recently. That's like my artist mission statement in like one package of swamp music. It's just like distorted, grimy as fuck, just super like random and just bizarre. So I want to like lock in on that shit again, but I want to do it as an album.
Hell yeah, that's fire as fuck. Talk more about the album, the swamp music.
Yeah, like the idea for it came just 'cause I was like drinking mad kratom and shit. And, like, I'd always be like, yo, this is like the swamp water and shit.
Hell yeah.
Like,
especially the OPMS shots.
yeah. Well, like I would do the powder, and like when I first got into it, I was just going ham. Like I would fucking put like mad scoops of that shit, just like fucking.
How does that feel? I've never done that
It
before.
feels like a diet perk.
Yeah.
Really? I've never taken a perk either, so.
That was like right around when I was like chilling out with like the perks and Xans and shit, and then I started getting into the kratom. It puts you in like a meditative state. I can't even explain it. Like
it's weird.
it's very weird.
Like
And,
it's. We were having this conversation earlier in the car. Like, so there's another kratom alkaloid called 7O.
fuck that
And
shit.
bro, that shit is terrifying.
fuck
Really?
that shit.
Bro, it's stronger than perks. It's scary.
Whoa.
That's gonna get kratom banned.
Yeah, like it's gonna fuck it up for people who like actually like use
Need
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
need it and use it.
That's why like I know they're gonna ban it, so I just tapered myself off it like a month or two ago. So now I'm completely sober.
Hell yeah. Congrats, bro. That's fire. So you on the kratom, like that inspired you to make that?
And that
That's
was
crazy.
like, let me see, when I was in San Antonio, that was when I was getting like the formative ideas for swamp music. So let's see the date. I want to say like 5 months ago, but I'm not good with timing. So it was in July 2024. So yeah, so quite a few months back. I was in Texas, just drinking mad kratom and shit, and I was watching a lot of like MasterChef. I don't know how it relates, but
That's fire.
I was watching mad like MasterChef Australia. Like something about the combination of like the MasterChef, the kratom, just like put me in like a crazy mindset.
That's tight.
Then like I had the idea for swamp music. I was like, I just want to make some like, because my music has usually been like gritty, like raw and dark, and like for like a little bit before that, I was kind of just like trying new styles. I was like, let me get back on like my dark gritty shit. So like I was like, I want to work on swamp music. So like I had the idea for that. When I was in Texas, I was getting like a whole bunch of ideas for it, and then I already had some songs finished for it. But then when I got back, I had so much on my mind, like I just finished the tape, and that was it.
Would you say the environment, like say like what city you're in, like changes like your
the shit you're writing and the way you record, yeah.
How is it compared to being like in Texas than in upstate New York?
Upstate New York, it's just like so like isolated. Like there's just like not a lot going on, so it's just like it was very isolating. And then like just doing the kratom and shit, like, and there's like kind of like some like swampy territory in upstate New York, kind of like a lot of greenery and lakes and shit.
Yeah.
So like that kind of like incorporated to like the vibe of making it. Like that shit was all recorded in upstate New York.
That's fire as fuck. So you're making new projects this year coming out. So what are some like dream collabs that you have in mind that you would like to, that people you would like to work with?
Realistic and like
like
out
far
there.
fetched.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn. That's a good question, but like when I think about it, it's like there's so many names.
Yeah.
Right now, let me just go into my recently listened just so I could see some names. And get an idea.
Yeah, we asked this question to everybody, and everyone's like always like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's just so many people and influences and shit. Oops. Right now, fuck. I'd probably say like I already talked to him, but 16-year-old SIG Carlito. I
wasn't expecting that. Off the rip.
Him.
Go to producer.
Years.
Go to producer.
I've been a fan. I was a super fan of him for years, and then we became homies like last year. So I really want to get some shit with him. 16. And dream collabs is like obviously like Blade, Young Lean. For years I wanted to work with Kanye. I don't know if I do it at this point.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, maybe I would honestly. Like in reality, if he comes to my door and is like, "Yo, you want to make this new tape?" I'd probably be like, "Yeah."
You can't really say no, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Just like that was my childhood icon.
yeah.
Chief Keef. Fuck it, Death Grips. I'd work with Death Grips and
Yeah.
beat.
Do you play shows? Like, do you be you be doing shows often or no?
It kind of slowed down for a little bit, just because like the venues in New York City is very oversaturated right now, and and like the fucking stupid ass promoters just want to book whoever's like hot in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not like the thing right now, then they're not really.
A lot of them
Yeah.
are closing right now too.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
One of my favorite venues burned down, but it came back. It's called Rash.
And that's in New York?
Yeah, it's in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
So as far as shows go, what would be your dream?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Like if you were to get booked anywhere in the world.
Oh, like location wise?
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in Asia.
Real.
Or go to the Caribbean and like tap in with my people.
That's fine.
Also Russia. I just think that the Russian architecture, just like I said, I was into
Brutalist.
Yeah.
They're also like it's on some crazy shit. They'll come far and wide just because of the fact you're an American artist.
Yeah.
Just to come see.
Yeah, they love that shit.
They're diehard fans, bro.
Yeah, like Suicide Boys go out there and they'll sell like 100,000 million people venues.
Yeah.
Whenever Peep went there, I remember he played like I think it was like 8,000 person venue, 10,000 person venue, and he wasn't even like at his peak yet.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Like they really fuck with like. To this day, a lot of like the comments would be in Russian and shit. Like they really show love to my music. That's why
I wonder what that
I
is.
have a song called Vladimir.
I
That's tight.
think it's just because I feel like it appeals to like what's going on over there.
Yeah, a lot of like fucked up shit.
Yeah, like because they also have like their own scene per se, but like for some reason it doesn't relate to what they're going through.
No, they love Plug. Like for whatever reason,
Yeah.
they love like one of my favorite Plug producers I work with every now and then is Smokestack, and he's out in Russia. Like they love Plug shit. So like that's kind of like that's why it ties into swamp music. Cause swamp music, like I would say it's like dark Plug. Like in the description I put like Shiesty Plug. That was like the name of the genre I was making. And like in Russia they really fuck with that shit. So like yeah, there's a song on swamp music called Vladimir. It's like showing love to Russia.
I feel like they're like, it's crazy because like everyone has access to the internet, right? But I feel like they're like kind of like behind in a way because they loved like emo rap.
Yeah.
Until like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then now like they're in the plug and B and all that shit.
They're
Like it's
also
crazy.
going through their hyperpop era right now.
Oh really?
I be on VK sometimes and like
Oh really? VK's still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know. Is that their SoundCloud? Would you say?
It's like a social media.
Yeah, it's just a
platform,
general
really?
platform. Like everything, like you can do statuses, videos, like everything. It's like they're like I guess Facebook. I guess.
No, yeah, it's like something like that.
But like also their video portion is very very important.
They love
got you.
Telegram too.
Yeah.
Telegram.
And
I think I'm
Signal,
in some Russian group chats on Telegram.
That's fire.
And especially with the war going on, they'd be like leaking
Yeah.
war footage.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that's like,
really?
I would see like fucked up shit on Telegram.
Yeah.
And on like what was it Crud Plug? Like just fucked up like gore websites.
That is fucking
Also,
nuts.
like, war for some reason like military and war shit is like always fascinated me.
Yeah,
Oh.
Like,
I agree
Yeah, it's
for
just
sure.
Very fascinating to me. Like
You should meet my cousin.
Soviet Union shit. Then like I have some military in my family, like not on both sides, but like, I have like some military family. So it's,
Yeah.
I guess it's just like my great grandfather like got shot in the head by a sniper.
Oh whoa,
Died, yeah.
that is crazy.
It's
What the fuck?
Sniped.
So being in upstate New York, is like sports kind of like a really common thing? Because like I know you're like mad that you're watching baseball
Yeah.
before the podcast. So like is that like super like influential to your life or?
Yeah, it's
The only upstate New York team is Buffalo, right?
yeah, but that's really upstate. Like when I say upstate, like people from upstate would be like, "That's not upstate, man." We're like 45 minutes outside the city.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like it's not like Syracuse or Buffalo or Rochester. It's kind of like New York City adjacent area. Mm-hmm. But yeah, growing up, sports were huge. I was just super out of shape when I was a kid. I was fat as fuck.
Me too.
So I just like couldn't do it. But then, like, and my parents,
We were on the line.
never signed me up for shit. So like, I was never like playing t-ball as a kid. I was never doing any of that. So then, like in middle school, I saw posters for it was called modified football, and I was in 7th grade. And then I signed myself up for it, and like I became obsessed with football.
What's modified football?
It's like right before JV.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like getting you ready for JV.
Gotcha.
So,
So it's like a freshman team type beat.
yeah, exactly. So like I got
That's
in.
a crazy name for it.
I was never good at like around middle school I started like trying to sign myself up for sports, but like all like these fucking white kids had like their parents enrolling them in like all these sports, so they had a huge head start on me. And in upstate New York, it's all about like PTA and shit. Like all the kids' dads are coaches.
Yeah.
Like, I never had that, so these
Yeah.
kids were always like I would try out for like baseball, whatever, and I would just get smoked. So football was the one sport that like I started and was like good at, and I understood it.
Yeah.
It just like clicked in my head.
And so you be going to like the Mets game and all that shit. So that's always been going on since you were a kid, or?
Yeah. I grew up going to like my cousins, since they're like I said, they're all from the Bronx, just die-hard Yankees fans. Like, so I would always like go like be dragged along to like I was never really into baseball, so I would just get dragged along to Yankee games and hear all this Yankee propaganda and shit. And then like they would
Propaganda.
shove it down my throat. I was never really into it.
Chill, Mets fan.
But yeah, that's kind of why I became a Mets fan, just because like I never like had a choice to like the Yankees. So like when I got into baseball, finally I was like, I want to pick a team to like, so I picked the Mets. But I also did go to Mets games.
But that's such a heartbreaking team to like.
I know, yeah.
Is that New York as well? I don't know anything about
Yeah,
sports.
it is.
Okay, gotcha.
The Mets are Queens and the Yankees are the Bronx. So like,
Okay.
if you're from the Bronx, you 99% of the chance to like the Yankees. But it's weird because like my pops, he's like I said, Bronx native, but he took me to Mets games too growing up, and like he'll tell you that he's like a Mets fan at heart. So like there's pictures of me like going to Mets games when I was young. So like when I started getting more into baseball, I was like, I thought we were always Yankees fans. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I always kind of liked the Mets. He's like, no Yankee fan would take their kids to Mets games growing up too. He was like, so like that I was planting the seeds for the Mets. So I was like, fuck it, I like the Mets now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
That
fire.
was kind of me with basketball growing up. Like everyone in my family liked the Spurs, but like Yao Ming was the shit.
No, yeah, exactly, like the cool team.
Like he was such like an anomaly, and then like Tracy McGrady.
I fuck with Tracy McGrady.
Bro, I don't know a single thing about sports, bro, at all. That's crazy. Like I wish I could think about it in my brain, but I can't. Like for some reason, it's weird.
Well, that's how like I'm saying, like I was always out of the loop. Like growing up, like people would be talking about like, yo, did you see like this new sports game? And I was just like never into it.
Yeah.
Then football and like being good at it, like it like switched the sports brain in my brain, like sports switch in my brain, because like I was an offensive lineman, and like it just takes a lot of like, it's kind of like a chess game. Like football is kind of like a chess game in general, but like being on the offensive line, and like it taught me a lot about like teamwork and like playing your role and like just like thinking strategically and shit. That's why like I really fuck with football too.
That's hard.
I'm a Jets fan, by the way.
I didn't have a choice. I was forced to play at least a sport a year until middle school.
That's crazy.
Whenever
I wanted to be like that, but my parents just never signed me up for sports.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I was obsessed with just like we were talking about earlier, baseball. Like baseball was like my sport, but like my brother didn't like it, and I'm a twin, so if my brother doesn't like it, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is he was good. We played a season with an all-star team. Like we were we were good, and Matt was like, "No,
Just
nah, dog.
yeah,
I'm good.
no." Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm good."
it's kind of like once I got to like freshman year, like the music started getting like back, like taking up so much space in my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. Like being an offensive lineman, you're just like getting like fucking bonked around and shit.
Yeah.
It's like in ninth grade, like they were gonna like I started in 8th grade. It's like I was actually good in 8th grade, and then when JV came up, like they were asking like, yo, you're gonna do JV and shit, and I was like, no. I just decided to move on from it.
That's wild because so you were like so tuned into like sports, and then once like the music came around, you just completely like
the music, like even while I was playing modified football, I was rapping music. So like I was still like, that was like around when like What a Time to Be Alive by Drake and Future dropped.
Yeah.
Like on the bus rides to the game, we would fucking crank that shit.
Diamonds dancing.
Yeah. Or, like Big Rings, Diamonds Dancing. Like I would like going to a football game, I would just like play that shit, and like so like they were always intertwined for me, like the sports and the music shit.
That's crazy as fuck. And I feel like I want to like say something real quick about child like being like in sports in middle school and high school. Like they're just like giving you like mad concussions. Like I feel like that's fucking crazy to me. Like
football, like they would always tell you like you hit as hard as you can. Like we do like those like Oklahoma drills. We'd get down, fuck each other up.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, like
I've never experienced anything like that before.
I kind of liked it because I had a lot of like just pent up aggression when I was young.
Yeah,
football was.
I feel like a lot of kids did too. You know what I mean? Like 100%. That's like a gateway to like beating motherfuckers up.
Yeah, that's why I liked it so much. I was like, oh, I get to like fuck people up, and this like is like.
And it's allowed.
Yeah. I was like, this is lit.
Wait, I get rewarded for fucking people up. This is lit. That's crazy. Shit, man, we've been going on for over an hour.
That's crazy.
I wanted to ask a couple more questions. Is there any people you want to thank along the way that paved the way for your music or for who you are today?
Definitely. My cousin Greg, he was the one who got me into like when I was like 13. Like he was doing the rapper shit. He did a show and like it didn't go good, and he just got super turned off from it. So he like kind of like told me what not to do. So Greg, my cousin Greg, is a huge inspiration. Then my homie Theo, like I mentioned, Antonio, my boy Zach. Those are the two people I was like really close with in high school. Grandma Elaine. Who else do I have to shout out? All the homies who were there from the beginning.
Yeah.
All like the So Evil Boys homies, Phony Wallace, obviously. All those guys who were there from the jump. I appreciate that shit.
Hell yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit for you. I feel like you're just gonna keep on going, keep making shit, keep grinding. You know what I mean?
I have like a obsessive personality, and like I'm just like never satisfied with shit. So like even when shit goes good, I'm always just thinking about what's next. It's like a fucking snowball.
Yeah.
Been like that for like 10 years.
Hell yeah. Is there anything you want to say to your supporters, to your fans before we send this off right?
Thanks for supporting my music, listening to my music. Obviously, like this shit is all like it's for me, but it's also for the fans too. Like
Yeah.
when I drop a song, it becomes theirs. So like all the like there were times where I wanted to quit. Like I'd open my messages and see people like, yo, like you changed my life. Even when like I didn't think I had any emotion, like years back, people be like, yo, like your song got me through a crazy hard time.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. People be telling me like they were gonna kill themselves and didn't because my music. So I was like, all right, like shout out to them.
Got to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick as fuck. Well, shit, man. This has been another episode of the Artist Hour. We got Xhris2Eazy here. Zach, you got something to say?
I just thank you for popping out, man.
Hell yeah. All right, peace out, guys. It's been another episode. Peace out. Shout out to
military man, I get that headshot. I don't get no fuss, I run that bitch like I'm a despot. I don't get no fuss, I run that bitch just like a Pol Pot. Trap move to a new location while I'm at the old spot. Honey's on my neck and on my wrist, I hit the jackpot. Tipping on this fifth, the Henny, treat that shit like eggnog. Bringing all the bishop, but the wind that made that trap hot. Bitch got me on Molly, that shit wind that made my jaw lock. Presidential shit, pull up in a suit like I'm George Bush. Shit I'm smoking only for the eight, that shit Gorilla Kush. Take the cops on a chase, I done dump my drugs inside a bush. Pop out the trees, we came with sticks, I'm in the ghillie suit. Bro, keep blowing up my phone about a feet like who is you? Shit I'm smoking on smell like skunk, like Happy to Pew.
subscribe.
Zoom out.
Oh shit. This is a PSA. Please subscribe. Please.
Play Mama after this.
Please subscribe to us.
Can you play Mama? You've been on my mind.